Yo, what's good everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today is a special one because we got another e-bike review to do, and this one's actually pretty special. It's called the Beautiful Bike from the electric bike company. And before you click out, there's tons and tons of new features we got to check out, so let's get into the garage and go check it out. Ooh, and there she is right there. So other than looking gorgeous as ever, one of my favorite colors ever, it's like an iridescent purplish blue tint to it. I mean, it just looks awesome. We'll get into that in a little bit, but I want to go over the new technology that's on this bike, and I think you guys are going to be very impressed with what you're going to get when you order one of these Project Beautiful bikes. First thing we got to do, we got to turn the bike on so we can show you all these features. You're going to have to accept the terms and conditions. Make sure you do that. This makes it easier for like rental companies and stuff like that. Plus it takes a liability off the company, but you got a cool new display. So this display is very new compared to the ones that have been on the electric bike companies. Has a lot of stuff on here like pedal assist off or on, the motor power and watts, the time that the bike's been on while you've been riding, and then the distance you've traveled. You got the temperature up here, and then you have your voltage reading right here. And then right on the side of the screen, you have this little indicator right here, and this is gonna be for automatically turning on your headlights and tail lights when you're riding at night. So it has a little sensor into it, just kind of like your car does, automatically turns them on, so it's a pretty nice feature. So moving up here, some other new features that you got on this bike, you're gonna have a button right here that has the electric bike logo on it, and if you hit it, it's your electric horn. So the longer you hold it, the longer it's gonna stay active. It's pretty nice and loud, definitely people are gonna hear you. Next to that, you're gonna have your turn signals that they added to this bike, and it's cool because if you come to the display, you do have your turn signal logo right there, which is pretty cool because that lets you know that you still have your turn signals on just in case you're already done with the turn, you forget to take it off. And if you hit this, you're also gonna see the right side. And if you come to the back, you're gonna see where your turn signal's at, right back here. Pretty nice, right underneath the seat. Keep in mind, you do have turn signals in the back only. You do not have any turn signals in the front of the bike whatsoever. They're only in the rear. All right, so moving to this side, you're gonna notice that you have a double headlight button, and that's because one's a low beam and one's a high beam. So you have two different sets of lights on the front of this bike, and that's pretty cool. And since we're in the garage, the sensor isn't gonna work because we got lights right above us. So we gotta turn these on manually, and to do that, you just hold this up button on the bike, and you're gonna see that the light came on over there. And if you wanna have the high beam, you can do both. So this is gonna be with the low beam on, and if we come up here and hit the switch, we can put both lights on, and that's gonna be your high beams. And if you want an idea of how the low and high beam work, this is the low beam. And if you hit the high beam, that's what it looks like. So low beam and high beam. And here are the brake lights. They're pretty nice and bright. And the cool thing about these brake lights is another feature they added is if you do come up here and hit the brakes, they do work as an actual brake light. So if you really look at that, they get brighter. And they work with both brake levers, so it doesn't matter which one you push. So people will definitely know that you're braking on this bike. All right, so let's go ahead and turn this bike off, and I'll show you another thing that comes with this bike inside the toolkit that's different from all their other toolkits. All right, so this is what comes in their toolkit. I do think that we're missing the CO2 cartridge that normally comes in here, and then I think it comes with a little thing of slime. But other than that, this is everything that you're gonna get in the toolkit minus those two things that we're missing. So it's very cool that they give you all this stuff to work on your bike. Another thing you can order with your bike is the anti-theft alarm system. But if you don't want to buy this, use my code MrCentralDriver. You guys will get this installed for free on your bike and get the alarm system. And it's super cool to have. I highly suggest having an alarm system on your bike because, I mean, these bikes are special and they cost a lot of money. So you get two key fobs, you get a little keychain, so if you want to put it on your keys or whatnot. And then make sure you lift this up. I like that they put a little note on here to let you guys know that the keys are underneath that box. And these are going to be for if you need to remove the battery, you want to bring it in and charge it inside the house. So pretty cool. Just keep in mind, keys are always underneath this little box if you get the alarm system. And then you get your charger in this box. It is a 3-amp charger. I'll go grab one that I have in the garage instead of opening this one. And here is the charger. It's pretty small. I mean, if I put my hand on it, it's actually smaller than my hand. And it's very, very lightweight, so you could throw this in your backpack. You're not gonna have a problem with it. It also has a built-in little fan right here. I never had a single issue with these chargers, and I like the compact size of them. All right, so now I really got to take off all this stuff because I want to go out and ride it. And keep in mind that this does come with the bike, and also the front basket comes with the bike. It also comes with these little papers right here You can pause it if you want to read this stuff. And I want to let you guys know, just a heads up right now, that this bike is in class 2 mode. So we have to get a password to unlock it to class 3, which goes up to 28 miles an hour. So it does ship out doing only 20 miles an hour. So just keep that in mind. But we're just going to go see how it is real quick down the street. We'll come back, change out the password, and go to class 3 mode after that. All right, so we're switched to the GoPro and we're on the bike right now. We're going to turn it on. It looks like we're going to have to accept the conditions and everything like that, like we did before. But the cool thing I like about this one is you actually have a thing down here that says, do not show this message again. The other electric bike company reviewed, that didn't have that option. So the fact that you can turn that off is pretty cool. So you don't always have to accept this every single time you want to ride the bike. But I'm just going to leave it for now the way it is. I'm going to accept it, and now we're good to go. Let's get on the way. All right, so I put it in mode 5 right away, and obviously we're limited to 20 miles per hour, class 2 mode, which is still not bad. But I can definitely tell this bike has a lot more power that it wants to put out, because it wants to keep going over 20 miles per hour, but it just won't let you because it's limited right now. But don't worry, we're gonna switch that. We're just going around the block, kind of filling out the bike and just seeing how it is. And it is very comfortable. It has no front suspension, but you do have a nice, comfortable seat, and the bike is straight up solid. So there's no actual issue riding this bike. So I don't know if you guys can hear the bike, but you can hear the motor going in and out. It's like, and that's because it just wants to keep moving. But that's cool because it allows the company to sell the bike at a lot of different areas that are limited to class 2 bikes. Yeah, we definitely need to unlock the power of this bike. But so far, so good. I think you're still gonna enjoy this bike, even if it's class 2. I just feel like you're gonna always experience the bike wanting to pull and then let off, and then pull and then let off, because it just wants to go so much more faster. The one thing I'm worried about when riding this bike is getting hit, because it's so damn gorgeous that I do not want to get a scratch or a nick or even accidentally drop the bike or someone hit me. I'm very worried. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful with this bike because it's just too nice looking. Yeah, this bike is definitely turning heads wherever I go. Everyone just keeps staring at me. It's either the bike or the fact that I have a helmet on my head riding a bike. And not just every ordinary helmet. I'm talking about a motorcycle helmet. So it could be those two things. All right, let's go back to the house and let's change out this speed so we can get to class 3, because this bike just wants to go. All right, guys, so now we have got the bike into class 3 mode. It was pretty simple to do. A quick update about that is you do not need a password for this. So to do it, all you have to do is when you're turning this bike on, you have to hold the up and down buttons at the same time, and it will take you into the menu. Just like all the other electric bike company e-bikes that are out there, they all have the same menu. And there's just some settings you can change in there. You can change your top speed, you can take off the limiter. But I don't want to put that information out there because I think the company still wants you to contact them if you are going to change any settings on your bike. But if you guys own one of these bikes, you guys have me on social media, I don't mind if you guys contact me and I'll walk you through how to do it, just because I don't think the company actually wants that information out there. But if they do, I will update one of my posts down the road and I'll let you guys know how to do this. But for now, let's see how fast this bike is. We're gonna do a 0 to whatever we hit. Keep in mind, we are at 50 volts because we have been riding the bike a little bit in class 2 mode. So let's hit it and go. I will say that the takeoff speed is really good. Like right now we're hitting 20 miles an hour. I don't feel like that took a long period of time, especially for a bike that's kind of like a beach cruiser or like a street cruiser. It's not too bad. So 25 miles an hour is the fastest we went on this road. I will say that it is ever so slightly barely going up. You guys can't tell that in the video. But keep in mind, where voltage is down, but this bike is definitely capable of like 27 and 28 miles an hour, like somewhere around there. We're already down 1 battery bar. So just keep in mind, every electric bike that you own, the more your battery goes down, the more you lose power, the more you're gonna lose speed. So that's just something to think about. But we'll definitely keep an eye on our top speed and see if it ever goes any higher than 25 miles an hour on some of these other roads that we're on. But so far, so good. It's very comfortable. I'm going as fast as I can on this bike right now, and this isn't the smoothest road, but it's not the bumpiest road I've been on, but it's taking it very well. I don't feel any issues
with it whatsoever. I said it before, you got a very, very comfortable seat on this bike, and it's just handling everything. And if you really want to make it a little bit more comfortable, you can get a suspension post seat, and then you're good to go. As much as I would like to see some BMX handlebars on some of these bikes, or maybe have the option on their website, they do give us so many options already, and I'm probably being picky about it, but I would like to see some BMX handlebar options for these bikes. But I will say, even though you got some beach cruiser handlebars and they're coming pretty far back, it's still very easy and comfortable to turn. Like, not a single problem. You just got to put your weight into it. You got some nice tires up front. I mean, I'm not having any complaints about turning or anything like that. Can you pop a wheelie on this thing? Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're definitely not popping a wheelie on this thing. Not with these bars. They're just way, way too far back. I just wanted to see if I can get the tire off of the ground. Because I was thinking about, like, situations where, let's say you're riding and you don't have a way to get up. So, like, how easy is it to get up this stuff? Like, I was able to get up the curb by hopping it up a little bit, but I mean, it's not as easy as some other bikes out there to try to get up a curb or something like that if you got to jump over something, or a log or a tree, something. All right, so I'm gonna do this test again. We don't have much room to go down, but I'm gonna do a 0 to however fast we go, and I'm gonna pedal this time to see if our top speed changes. And it actually might, because I've been using the throttle only the whole entire time. I haven't been pedaling, so let's go. So now I'm pedaling. You know what? I actually feel like the bike is faster pedaling. It felt like it got up to speed a lot faster. We're still gonna run out of room. I don't think we're gonna go over 25 miles an hour. Oh, no, we're not. We're not. But man, these brakes to slow down are super nice. I'll say that. They always put some of the best brakes on these bikes. These ones are from Tektro. And we can see how well these brakes work right now. I'll try a braking test right here by the sign right here. Let's see. Woo. Oh yeah, those things stop hella fast. That wasn't too bad. That's only like 3 or 4 bike lengths. That's not bad at all. We could try the brake test again. Let's go off of this little white thing right here on the corner. So we're doing 25 miles an hour. Let's go now. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, so that's probably about 4 bike lengths from hitting 25 miles an hour until we completely stopped holding both brakes. And I'm holding them as much as I can without sliding the tire. I have noticed that these tires have been holding up very well without sliding. But definitely don't want to damage them, because these are some very, very nice tires on here. These bikes feel very nice to stand up on too. Feels like you're super high off the ground. But one thing I did notice is when you're turning, if you guys can see that, I'm not doing a very, very sharp turn, and a lot of people probably won't be doing very sharp turns, but keep in mind, if you are doing a pretty sharp turn, these pedals are pretty close to the ground. They're not super, super close to the ground. They had another bike that came very close to the ground. I think it was the Model F, which is the foldable bike, and they came so close to the ground that they actually hit. So I don't think you're gonna have a problem with this, but if you are definitely trying to take a corner very fast and very sharp, then you might wanna be careful on where your pedal placement's at. But for the most part, I don't think anyone's gonna have a problem. Now we can go over the bike a little bit more, because I know we talked about all the new features on this bike. That's the first thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because that's the new stuff that's on this bike. This bike is basically like getting the higher top tier car at the car lot that has the extra lip package or exterior package, where it has the, you know, the extra accessories and stuff like that. That's what you're basically paying for. This bike stands out against a lot of other bikes on the market. And you can obviously see it by the paint, the rear rack, the basket, everything matches. You got the real wood with the clear coat on them. I mean, wood is expensive, especially that type of design on a bike. I mean, it's super cool stuff. So yes, you can get cheaper bikes from the company or from other bike manufacturers if you want to, but let's just be real. This bike is made to stand out from a crowd. It's made to be different from everything out there on the market. And I will say they did a very good job on it. Obviously, my favorite part of this bike is the color. But I would say, other than the color, my other favorite part is the new display. I feel like the new display has so much information for a lot of people out there. And then I would say after the display, it would probably be the secondary light. So I can't wait to take this bike to work and use the secondary light to see how bright it's gonna be at nighttime, because I'm definitely gonna have it on the whole entire time. I feel like the basket light by itself isn't the best. I feel like the light that they put on their bikes in the front without the basket are actually brighter than the basket light. But to each their own. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about them. But anyways, let's get back on to riding. And as much as I would not like to take this bike off-road, we got to do it for the video. So let's go. Let's take it up this steep little hill right here. And let's just ride it off-road for a little bit. It's been raining the last couple days, so hopefully we don't run into any puddles or anything like that. But even though we have no front suspension, it's nice and smooth. It's like every other one of their bikes that they sell. It's just rock solid. You don't hear a single noise from the bike other than the motor hum. That's all I hear is the motor humming. Nothing. I mean, it's nice and smooth. That's one thing I like to look for in a bike now, is getting a bike that doesn't have any rattles or squeaks, because that will drive you insane. If you have an electric bike and it has all these little noises here and there as you're riding, especially I have a full face helmet on right now that you guys can't see. And if I can hear those noises with that helmet on, I could just imagine just having a regular half helmet and hearing everything. And that kind of takes away from the electric part of the bike. You want it to be as quiet as possible. But yeah, we're going through this no problem whatsoever. I'm noticing that if I do hit a really big hole, that my feet will come off the pedals a little bit, but my butt's been stationary on the seat the whole entire time. I'm not flying off of it, and it feels real nice. Let's see how it is to go off a curb. If you had to jump it off something. Woo! Look at that, nice and smooth. Did you guys hear any noise from the bike? No, you didn't. This thing is solid, super solid, and that was actually pretty comfortable. One thing I want to do now is I want to use the pedals without the throttle at all and just kind of get an idea of how it is. Oh, one more thing. Pedal assist is not on by factory. So to turn pedal assist on, I forgot. You have to hold this down button on the controller, and then that thing will go away, and now pedal assist is on. So if you're ever wondering when you get one of these bikes and pedal assist isn't working right off the bat, that's why. So now I gotta redo that test again that I was just doing earlier, where we used the throttle and the pedals, because that wasn't accurate. But let's pedal and see if we get a higher top speed than just using the throttle. Let's see if that happens now. Slightly going uphill, maybe you guys can tell, but it looks like we're still hitting the same speed, like 25 miles per hour. All right, now with throttle and pedaling, yeah, still, let's see. Hold on. Let me get up there. Come on, get up there. It's hovering right under 25 miles per hour. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we would hit like 27 or so if we had a full battery, but it is what it is. All right, the next thing we should do is make sure that our speed is actually accurate. So I got my phone out because I did not put a phone mount on this bike, and I'll tell you right now that, look, it matches up. It's exactly what the display says. That is 100% spot on. So exactly the speed you're going is exactly what you're getting. So there you go. Now the next thing we gotta try is turning the bike off. Let's just say your bike dies for whatever reason, or you have an issue with it. A lot of you guys wanna know if you can pedal it to get home. And I'm gonna actually do that right now. I'm not gonna pedal all the way home, but let's just pedal it a little bit, and I'll give you my feedback on if you're gonna be struggling or not. Yeah, you're definitely gonna get a workout. This is actually one of the more harder bikes to pedal if you do not have any power whatsoever. So keep that in mind. I would definitely not wanna pedal this probably more than a mile. And at that, you at least want to make sure you're probably in a little bit of shape, because I don't think I can do this more than a mile. This is very tough. So make sure you save some type of battery, or if you're more than a couple miles from your house or wherever you need to go and something happens to the bike, you're going to probably want to call somebody. Just a random cone in the middle of the street. All right. All right, so now that you guys know all that information on the bike, we've kind of went over a lot of stuff. The only thing I want to show you when we get back to the house is the battery, because there's no information on the battery size on the website yet. They'll probably add it at a later time, but for now, when I get back, we'll show you that. But I will say that if you guys want to stand out from the crowd, and you want all the extra accessories possible, and you really like this company because the bikes are built in the United States, and they're phenomenal. I mean, they're not gonna blow your socks off with speed and power, but the quality of them and the warranty that you get is really what you're buying these bikes for. And you want like the highest trim model possible with all the nice features and the colors and all that stuff. And keep in mind, this color is not the only one you can get. There's so many other colors on their website you can get. I think there's like 6 different bikes. You can get one that goes from like pinkish purple to white or blue or something like that. It looks pretty cool. That was something else I was thinking about getting, but this just has some cool features. But you're gonna pay the price for it. So you're looking at $31.99 for this bike. And if you want to buy another bike on their website that has the same exact power and stuff like that, you can get one for probably about $1,700. But this is really because it has all these cool features on it. If you want the turn signals, the headlight, you know, the brake lights, all that kind of stuff. So just something to keep in mind. That's why the price is so much up there. But this isn't going to be a bike for everybody. I know everyone out there is not going to buy this bike because of the price. It's just really if you're one of those people that want the best of the best. And honestly, I like it so much that I'm thinking about keeping this one over a few other bikes just because of how it looks. It's such a flashy bike to ride around and have fun with. And it's just a nice cruiser. I mean, it's nice and quiet and there's nothing wrong with it. It's smooth. You got like I think it's a 5-year warranty on the battery, and you have a 10-year warranty on the motor. It's crazy. What other company will give you a warranty like that? And since they have facilities in California, it's not like you're not gonna get a response or a replacement part. You can contact them and they'll answer the phone and pick up, and you will have a part probably in a week or 2 delivered to your door, compared to these other Chinese companies that you have to go overseas and they got to ship them DHL and it takes forever to get to you. That's not going to happen with this company if you ever have any type of warranty issues. And something else I want to mention is that we've done 9.8 miles on this bike, almost 9.7, but it's going to go to 9.8. And we are down 2 battery bars. And it looks like we're sitting around 46 volts, but it's going up little by little. But I would say roughly about 46 volts is what we left off at for about 10 miles almost. So it's not too bad. So let me bring you inside and we'll check out this battery. All right, first we want to make sure we turn the bike off before we do anything. We're going to take the key, and it's on the other side. Okay, now that we're on the correct side of the bike, take the key, hit this, and you're going to have a little latch right here that you want to move out of the way, and it should pop out. Make sure not to damage your nice, beautiful wood pieces. So I'm going to turn the wheel as much as I possibly can, because that definitely does come close to the wheel. So you definitely got to be careful on that with this bike frame. All right, so here is the battery. So it is a 48 volt, 12 amp hour battery. And yes, it's not a big battery at all, but keep in mind this bike is very lightweight. Doesn't have a crazy amount of power. It's only 750 watt. You do have a charging point down here. So if you want to charge it in the house, that's where you would charge it. And then if you were going to charge this battery with it on the bike, we got to go to this other side. And this is where you would charge it if the battery was on the bike. So now you know the size of the battery, and now I know because I wasn't even sure on myself. And to put it back in, you're gonna make sure you turn it the opposite way, all the way so it locks. And then you're gonna wanna move this over and that will lock it. And then you're good to go. That's not gonna come out anymore.
All right, guys, so there you have it. That is the SUPERNOVA Beautiful Bike from the Electric Bike Company. So if you guys wanna order it, contact them or go check out the website. I'll have a link to the actual bike itself because I don't think you can actually find them on the website yet. I think they're waiting for some reviews to go out and stuff like that. So definitely check the link in the description. It will take you directly to this bike and you can go check it out. It's a lovely bike. It is expensive, but it's not for everybody. It's if you really want to have a flashy bike and you want a very high quality bike from a manufacturer that gives you a very good warranty. So take it how you want it, but they have other bikes out there on their website if you want to look at those too. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day. Be safe out there riding. Thanks for watching.